honor.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand finale of the Swatch Freeride World Tour 2017. We are here at the Xtreme Verbier. I'm Dave Mailman, and this is my good buddy, Martin Winkler. And this is it, Martin.
It is.
It's D-Day. We love this. It is the 10th anniversary of the Swatch Freeride World Tour, the 22nd anniversary of this event. Welcome to Verbier, Switzerland. This is where it all goes down every year at the end of the tour. Conditions are fantastic today, Martin.
What a great day ahead of us.
And once again, here we are in Verbier, Switzerland, nestled into the southeast corner of the Swiss Alps, the fantastic town of Verbier that has been hosting the Xtreme Verbier for the last 22 years, and now the Swatch Freeride World Tour for 10. It is a true freeriding mecca, and also a great place to hang out and have fun every year for the last 22 years. Freeride fans from around the world have been gathering here in Verbier at the end of March or early April to take in, sit back and enjoy and cheer on the world's best freeriders here at the Xtreme Verbier on the Bec des Roses. And of course, this is the Swatch Freeride World Tour 2017. The winter begins on the Swatch Freeride World Tour in Chamonix-Mont-Blanc, France. Then we hold the line in Val-Nord-Arcalis in Andorra. This year, 2 stops in Andorra, since due to safety conditions, we were not able to run the Chamonix event in Chamonix. After that, it's crunch time. The mid-season cut in Fieberbrunn, Austria. Lots of pressure on the riders' shoulders at the mid-season cut. After that, it's the dream stop in Haines, Alaska, a true mecca of the sport of freeriding. And the conditions this year were absolutely spectacular. It was a momentous event. And of course, the grand finale here in Verbier, Switzerland. It doesn't get any better and any scarier than the Bec des Roses, Martin.
Oh yeah, it's always every year the pinnacle of our sport, and the very infamous Bec des Roses scares and anticipates all riders from the beginning of the season. It's all they think about, more or less. Can I get there, and will I perform well?
Indeed, and the season starts on faces that are relatively easier to ski and snowboard than the Bec des Roses, and it kind of builds as we go through.
Yeah, and I'm actually also pretty happy that we have a cut that we see here, because it's only the best of the best coming to the Bec des Roses to compete. Here we have the cut and the numbers.
That's exactly it. So the first 3 events of the season, Val-Nord-Arcalis, Chamonix, Fieberbrunn. We started out with 22 ski men, 11 snowboard men, 9 ski women, and 8 snowboard women. After those first 3 stops, we take the top 2 results, and that is the mid-season cut. 12 men skiers, 6 snowboard men, 6 ski women, and 4 snowboard women qualify for the dream stop in Haines, Alaska, the grand finale here in Verbier, and very importantly as well, the Freeride World Tour 2018. After today's event, the grand finale, we take the best 4 results of the 5 competitions, we add those points up, and we crown our world champions here at the grand finale in Verbier, Switzerland. And it is a tough year. Conditions of the day, look at that beautiful, here's our competition program for the day. 9 a.m. we're gonna be on the mountain with the snowboard women. The ski women dropping in about 20 minutes later at 9:20. Men's competition 9:45 a.m. And the starting with the webcast of the men's competition, the actual competition itself starts at 10 a.m. and the ski men at 10:20. All of those Central European time. And if you're watching us in Tokyo, you're 7 hours in advance in Hakuba. And we are 6 hours behind us in New York, 9 hours behind us in Seattle, and 10 hours behind us in Haines, Alaska.
Yes.
Okay, as we can see, there are the guides in the face, and here it is, the famous Bec des Roses. Martin, talk us through it.
Yeah, this time we have a little variation. As you see, we have a start from a third third down the face. That's the women's start from the shoulder of the dog leg. Very exciting, actually. Talking to the girls, they were so happy to have this part of the venue this year for them to show their skills. Usually we are further to the lookers right. We have a really steep angle there in this shoot. You can choose into even going in steeper sections than 40 degrees. 40 degrees is the average rate from that part of the face.
There we go. And those are the wise men. That is the judging panel. And nobody better to talk us through the judging criteria than former competitor and judge, Mr. Martin Winkler.
Yeah, we have 5 experienced judges, and they judge on the overall impression based on those categories. We have line choice. Is it a difficult or technical terrain you're riding in? Creativity comes into play here too. Fluidity, very important. It means how fast are you relatively to the terrain you're riding in, not necessarily the speed. Runs are not clocked or timed. Control, next up. Very important, of course, about crashes versus being in control, but it's also considered what lies in between. Are you having troubles or even at the brink of losing it? That's what comes in play here. Next one, air and style, the most spectacular category, everything that happens in the air. How big is a jump? Of course, difficulty of the tricks. Technique, the last category, always committed riding is what the judges want to see. This all comes to an overall score of maximum 100 points that the judges give away.
And there she is, the Bec des Roses, looking beautiful in the bright sunshine, and about 15 centimeters of fresh powder, about a half a foot of fresh powder on the face, but it doesn't make it look any less daunting. And the first ladies down the mountain today will be the snowboard women. Let's take a look at what happened so far this season. In third position on the rankings, and Flora Marxer, our 2011 women's world champion in the snowboard category, won the first contest of the season, but has been a bit disappointed since then with her results. Shannon Yates, the 2014 women's world champion, the very experienced American vet, won the last stop in Alaska and is sitting second with a chance at the world title. Marion Herty is our current leader. Marion is leading the current rankings and is the favorite for the title. Marion or Shannon, with a win here today, will take the overall title. And Flora Marxer and Audrey Hébert are out of the running, but still could swap spots in third and fourth place. And the title scenario is, if Marion wins, she is the world champion. If Shannon wins, she's the world champion. So that's basically
pretty simple
what it comes down to. And here is the start list. First in will be Shannon Yates, followed by Audrey Hébert, the Canadian rookie, and Flora Marxer, and Marion Herty. And so advantage, I would say, to Marion Herty. Shannon Yates gets fresh tracks, but Marion Herty gets to see what Shannon has done and knows if she really has to send it, or if she can kind of play it safe.
Yeah, but I'm not sure where they ride, so I don't know if Marion will actually see Shannon ride. And I'm not sure if the information is brought up to Marion in time that she knows about the standings when she's dropping in.
Well, there is communication back up and top from the peak, that's true, but they will not see the line from their starting position. So, but for example, if Shannon were to fall, we would find out about that, and the girls would know about that.
Here you see the start gate. Pretty unusual spot, to be fair. I've never seen that in the last 22 years of competitions on the Bec des Roses. This is the premiere of a starting point here on the shoulder of the dog leg at the Bec des Roses.
Yes, it is. The ladies used to start from the top in the very early days. And this is the first time that the women have actually dropped in from the dog leg. Now, the reason that the women are not competing on the petit bec on the usual women's face is because of the snow conditions, and the dog leg is the safest option for the women's snowboarders. Shannon Yates, once again, will be our first lady snowboarder down the mountain, the 2014.
Here you see a beautiful image of that position. I'm sure the Cineflex just would have gone over
we'd
to
have liked to
give you a
have a
little
look
bit
down the
of a
couloir,
sneak preview into that shoot.
I'm sure we'll have a good look at it as we
Here we
run
go.
through
Look
the
at
day.
that. Look at that one. That's what the riders have to deal with. You don't see as many rocks from the top. You see more snow, but you see kind of the steepness and the declination. It's you see all the way down. There is a very interesting part further to the Lucas or skiers' right side. Actually, we see it perfectly now where they start off with, and the snow, from the image at least, looks amazing. We have a pretty good base in some places. It's pretty weird this season. We didn't have that much snowfall in general, but snow conditions all over the resort are still great to ride. Here, in some places on the back, it's really, really rocky, especially also from some slides that took place earlier in the season. And in some pockets, though, we have even all-time conditions, I got told by the riders. So we'll see. It's all about creativity and experience, what line to choose, where are the best pockets to ride, and Shannon is for sure one that is a master of this. Very experienced rider, already 40 years old, competing and challenging a young gun, Marion Herty, for the world champion, for the belt of the Freeride World Tour champion 2017.
And it's going to be two very different styles from these two ladies. Shannon, obviously the more experienced veteran, and Marion Herty with more of a freestyle background. How do you think that's going to play out, Martin?
We will see right now. She's going into a very technical section here. She's opening the hard zone, first rider down the mountain. Beautiful slash turns here, mandatory air, no hesitation.
Awesome.
Great control. It's a little more shady in there, but we have sunny weather conditions, so visibility is great. Snow is looking all time. Not as much slough as I was expecting it to be.
No, I was speaking with Shannon yesterday, and she was a bit worried about slough management, but it looks really good.
Nice exit there. Not sure if she had a different plan at the beginning, and she kind of sneaked out to the skier's right side, but definitely she stayed on her feet, well executed.
And she managed to get a really good drop in up top as well. That was something in Alaska. Shannon didn't really take any big jumps, but she got one solid cliff drop in there and some fantastic snowboarding in a, as you said, a very technical part of the face. So it's a good way to start things off, and on her feet all the way to the bottom. So she definitely has kept her chances alive of taking a second world title. Once again, Shannon Yates winning the Freeride World Tour in 2014 in the women's snow category.
I don't think she went full in on that line. You can see she took the dog leg and then went into that hard zone. We come maybe later if we have time to explain a few of those expressions, those different zones we call them. So she went skier's right side of that venue. Marion didn't see her. From that point she dropped into that more technical area. So Marion for sure doesn't know exactly what score Shannon will have.
And there she is dropping into the hard zone.
That's the crucial part where we see her for sure bumping up her score a lot. And that's the exit out of the hard zone into the open field at the bottom. You can see snow is great, looking amazing. No wind has touched it yesterday. We received about 5 to 10 centimeters above a pretty good solid base.
No doubt. Well, Shannon started off the year with a 5th place finish in Val Nord, then 2 seconds in Chamonix and Fieberbrunn, and took 1st place at the last event in Alaska. So she's been building momentum, and it looks like she has maintained that momentum today. Let's see what the judges thought of that run. 65 points to start things off for Shannon Yates. So definitely some room to move for the other ladies, but a solid run nonetheless. But still, the world title scenario is wide open with a 65-point score. Next up is our Canadian rookie. This is Audrey Hébert, and obviously first year on tour, sitting 4th in the rankings. Best result so far this year, 3rd place in Fieberbrunn.
Here we have her. Oh, maybe got caught up by a little rock there. As we said, we received a little bit of snow overnight. That is, for the images for TV, it's amazing, but it also covered a few of those tiny rocks that are just hidden below the snow. We call them sharks. They bite you when you pass them, and you don't see them. That's the problem. Here we have her coming into the center of the dogleg. Nice cliff into the open field. Probably you've seen some slough going down on the forerunners. You can see her just passing that. In the shade, it's a little harder to tell. She's coming in on that shoulder. Solid riding, very confident. Another air in there.
Some nice little jumps and very impressive. Audrey Hébert attempted, there's another nice jump from Audrey, attempted the first ever backflip in women's competition in the snowboard category in Alaska. Unfortunately didn't stick it, but she definitely is not afraid to go big and to try and throw down some big tricks. A very solid run, maybe not as big a cliff as Shannon Yates, but more jumps. And what do you think of her overall line choice and creativity?
You're right. Like the difference was not as technical, but definitely more features that she hit top to bottom. And I'm not sure what the judges will say. This could be kind of go either way. She could be just ahead. Here we see her following more or less the dogleg with variations to the right. Very nice to see that she used the terrain. Even at the bottom, she had a playful part going through that avalanche or slide debris, slough debris that you could see at the bottom. She definitely will be happy with her run. That was some really nice riding. You can see lower power in the air.
No doubt, and a big smile on her face as she crossed the finish line. As we check out the replay of that run from Marion Herty. Look at the judging criteria there on screen. Lots of green, not all the way across though. So the judges obviously finding a few faults.
Not necessarily faults,
not faults, but exactly.
You're right. Not putting all the potential to display, especially in line choice. Was more the obvious line from top to bottom through the dogleg. Let's see.
The moment we've been waiting for, 70.66. So the judges preferring small jumps and creative line choice over technique and the larger cliff of Shannon Yates. So having seen that run, I'm going to say that's going to play in the favor of Marion Herty.
For sure.
I think with that result now, Shannon's chances of a second world title may be slipping away, and Marion Herty from France may take her first. But right now, it's all about this lady dropping in now, the Swiss-French dual national and 2011 world champion, Anne-Fleur Marxer. She won the Tour in her rookie year, and she's off to a great start here in Verbier today.
Oh yeah, she is the one that can even put in some tricks, as we've seen. Was it 2 years ago?
No, it was last year. Tried a frontside 360.
Yes. So will we see her again with an attempt? Maybe to do a little bit of a revenge. Definitely the snow conditions look all time. She's heading towards the same cliff as we've just seen Audrey Hébert. Also going towards, seems to me, she's going over to the skiers left of that chute. Trying to find some more features.
And the snow looks absolutely fantastic. Of course, bright blue skies. Doesn't get much better than this on the Bec des Roses.
Nice.
Okay, well, we have a snowboard contest on our hands here. And straight line to the finish for Anne-Fleur Marxer. Now, this is going to be interesting. Not as many features as Audrey, but maybe slightly larger. What's your take on that, Martin?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the first spot for the current situation for her, I think. Even though it was the more obvious line, just as Audrey Hébert did, but definitely with the bigger features. Very nice, no hesitation, and a straight line at the bottom. It's what the judges want to see.
No doubt.
Riding.
Well, she won this competition in 2011, the same year she won the overall Freeride World Tour Women's Snowboard title, and she's off to a great start to win it again, 78.33 points. So the pressure is now on Marion Herty. If she wants to take the win, she's really going to have to step it up.
She does, and she has the potential too. I must say that there is, if she knows, pretty sure she doesn't. She doesn't know the outcome at the bottom. I assume so. If she would, she knows that there's no pressure for her anymore for the world title, because there's no way for Shannon to be in third place and winning the title.
Exactly.
She can do whatever she wants. She probably doesn't know about it. She wouldn't care too much anyway. She goes for her line, tries to stick it, tries to push women's snowboarding.
Yes, indeed. And she has a solid border cross background and freestyle background. Used to compete on the World Snowboard Tour. And Marion Herty out of Chamrousse, France, is dropping in now. Actually, originally from Grenoble, and currently living in Chamonix this season, and starting off well up top. Solid on her feet, some good turns.
Trying to feel the snow, try to get into the flow of her line. She doesn't show any features at the top. Probably heading, looks like her heading to the same feature than Audrey and Anne-Flore. Not as much fluidity as we've seen the ladies before. Nice drop there though. Shutting down speed. Also going to that left shoulder. That's what the judges want to see. Committed riding. Some nice slash turns. Enjoying that pow.
Definitely. Well, I think she... there's the first jump in there. Not
Another
gigantic,
one.
but throwing in a little feature. Exactly. 2 wins so far on tour this year, Chamonix and Fiberbrunn, and second in Alaska, and a maiden world title already in the books for Marion Herty.
Nice, solid run. You could see that she was not going all in, knowing that actually a top 2 would save her the title if Shannon didn't win. So I'm pretty sure her strategy today was not to go all in and bring home that belt.
Just to have fun. For once, the strategy of just have fun and not worry about the results at the end of the day worked very well for Marion Herty, our new women's snowboard world champion here on the Swatch Freeride World Tour 2017. She will be ecstatic and a very emotional Marion Herty in the finish line, getting a big hug from Anne-Flore Marxer, taking a look at those nice powder turns up top.
Here we have that drop at the middle of the dog leg. Another feature there. If it would be me, I would put her into second place. It's pretty tight between the 3 ladies, I think. Audrey Hébert, Anne-Flore Marxer, there are just, I think, 3 points between. And could be that she's just in the middle. As you said, big emotions. We're missing a competitor here this year. Good friend of the crew.
Estelle Ballet from Verbier, last year's Freeride World Tour champion, women's snowboard champion, and event champion here at the Xtreme Verbier. And a very good friend, obviously, of all the ladies on tour, but especially Marion Herty and Anne-Flore Marxer. So a beautiful group hug. There is the score, 74 points. You're exactly right, Martin. Second position for Marion Herty, just behind one of her best friends, Anne-Flore Marxer, who takes her second win here in Verbier, Switzerland. And there, she's just found out it's official. She is the Swatch Freeride World Tour 2017 Women's Snowboard Champion. So there we are, 2 great champions, and a third in the back as well, Shannon Yates, 2010 winner here in Verbier and 2014 overall champ. There are the official results. Anne-Flore Marxer first, Marion Herty second, followed by the rookie from Canada, Audrey Hébert, and the veteran American Shannon Yates in fourth. A fantastic day of snowboarding for the women. All of them put on fantastic show, and I'm going to step out on a limb and say the best day, best competition of the year in the women's snowboard category.
Oh yeah, we've seen some really nice riding today. Very fluid, solid, no crashes, beautiful snow. Like, what a way to end the season for the girls.
Yes, indeed. Congratulations, ladies. A fantastic day of riding here on the Bec des Roses. As we look at the overall ranking for the snowboard women, it is official. Marion Herty with her maiden world title. Anne-Flore Marxer moves into the second spot, just 80 points in front of Shannon Yates out of the US of A, and Audrey Hébert in her first year on tour finishes 4th. Of course, the rest of the women did not make the cut, although hats off to Nicola Tost, actually, who qualified with her result, but decided to retire after the event in Fieberbrunn. Manuela Mandel, Michaela Holsten, and Elodie Mouton, former 2-time event champion here as well, rounding out the 8 women on tour. And of course, Marion Herty and Fleur Marxer, Audrey Hébert, and Shannon Yates will be back for another go-around in 2018. Okay, now we're going to have a look back at the top 3 lines on the line tracker, and Martin Winkler is going to give us his expert analysis of how it all went down here today in the women's snowboard category.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward for the women snowboarding today. They chose the straight line through the dog leg. Only Shannon Yates came up 4th, going into the more technical section, but probably with not hitting any feature at the bottom, she didn't make that top 3 spots. We see very similar lines, but Anne-Fleur changing her way down further to the skier's left, where she found a really nice floaty air in a beautiful pocket, and that probably made the difference. Pretty tight together, as you can see, 70, 74 points and 78.33 for the top 3 ladies today.
And once again, perfect conditions and a historic day for the women's snowboarders as well, with the start at the top of the dogleg couloir. Fantastic snowboarding.
And huge congratulations to last year's rookie and really experienced, stepping it up to another level, Marion Herty, this year. Respect, taking away the world title.
Yes, indeed. And now it is time for the ski women category here on the Bec des Roses in Verbier, Switzerland. We're going to take a look back at what has happened so far. First 4 stops on tour. Jackie Passo out of the US of A, the defending Xtreme Verbier champion, is in equal 3rd place with our 2-time and reigning world champion out of Austria, Eva Walkner. And Eva has stated that winning here in Verbier is her goal this year. Ariana Tricomi out of Italy, currently sitting in 2nd position with a shot at the world title. But the woman to watch is this lady right here, Lorraine Huber out of Austria. And she is currently leading the rankings. And today it is truly her title to lose. And very experienced Austrian veteran up against the 2nd-year rider, Ariana Tricomi out of Italy.
Yeah, it's all about Lorraine today, definitely. She has it in her own hands to take away that title, to have that redemption from 2014. Of course, everyone, and including the riders, including Ariana Tricomi, would actually wish her and the best and win that title. Well deserved for Lorraine.
No doubt. So Lorraine Hubert currently sitting in 1st place with Ariana Tricomi 2nd. There's a few different scenarios. Basically, though, if Lorraine wins, she becomes the world champion. Eva Walkner, Jackie Passo equal 3rd. Kylie Savelle, the Canadian rookie, in 5th. Hazel Josie Birnbaum in 6th. Those are the 6 ladies who qualified, made the mid-season cut, and Hazel Josie really pulling out a fantastic result in Fieberbrunn to jump up into the top 6 and qualify for the last 2 events and next year's tour. Evelina Nilsson, Elizabeth Gerritsen, and Nadine Wallner rounding out the 9 women in who are on tour this year. And as we can see, they are moving their way into position. We are just moments from getting this category on the road. And here is our start list for the women's skiing. So Ariana Tricomi, Lorraine Huber, the 2 title contenders, will be the first 2 ladies down the mountain, followed by our equal 3rd place finishers, Eva Walkner and Jackie Passo, with Hazel Josie Birnbaum and Kylie Savelle, the last 2 ladies in here today at the Swatch Freeride World Tour Xtreme Verbier 2017. And as we saw in the women's snowboarding, the conditions on the face of the Bec des Roses this year are really fantastic, and bright blue skies. Could not ask for a better day to send the world's best down this face. And of course, once again, in this women's ski category, Ariana Tricome and Lorraine Huber are the two women to watch. If Lorraine is top 3, she is world champion. And if Ariana Tricome wins, she's world champion. If Lorraine is not top 3, that's the basic rundown. So best of luck to all of the ladies. But even Ariana Tricome said it at the opening ceremony. She hopes that Lorraine wins. She says she'd be a fitting world champion. And after coming so close in 2014 before having to take 2 years off for injury, it would be a fitting comeback as well for Lorraine. Even though she did ski last season, she wasn't at 100%.
Yeah, she had an injury midway through, trying to come back to make the cut. She did, and really tough 2 seasons long for Lorraine after that struggle 2014. But she is back 100%. It was a great season for her, not only in the competition side of skiing, but also free riding with her friends. Especially shout out here to Stefan Heusel, who will be watching, and Björn Herriger, 2 good friends of Lorraine, and they've been shredding a lot this season and the previous ones to prepare Madame Lorraine for the big stage, the Bec des Roses.
Yes, indeed. And Lorraine and Ariana, both with 2 wins this season, but it's been the consistency of Lorraine that has really put her in position to take home her maiden world title. And I would imagine that 2-time world champion out of Austria, Nadine Wallner, would be sitting at home watching as well.
Definitely, the whole world, skiing world, is watching. Here we have women coming up. Ariana, I know she's on the one side relaxed as usual. She's such a happy camper, but nervous as well. She tries to have a flowy, enjoyable line. She told me, let's find the most flow on this mountain,
Yep.
She said to me.
Yes, indeed. Well, the 24-year-old out of Alta Badia, Italy, that's her home resort, currently sitting in 2nd position with, once again, 2 wins this season, taking the opener in Val Nord Arcalis and the last event in Haines, Alaska, with the 8th place finish in Andorra and 5th in Fieberbrunn. So once again, if she wins and Lorraine does not finish top 3, she takes the world title and she is on the mountain.
Here we go. She's up and running. Her signature style, pretty close on the skis, very smooth, smearing the turns where she can, being very solid where she needs to. Here we have her on the first drop. Unfortunately, she had to stop, hesitate a little bit. Not too much though. She kept on the flow. Continuing in the dogleg. Another little drop there. Probably going onto that ledge. Nice one, and re-entering the dogleg. More open face at the bottom. Snow is looking good. Hiding some of those sharks. You have to be aware. Nice little combination there. Hold on. It's a rough ride down there from those slough debris, but she kept it together, and now it's pure pleasure down to the finish.
Yes, indeed. So a very solid start to our women's ski competition with Ariana Tricome, our current world number 2, out of Italy. 24-year-old, once again, in her 2nd year on tour. There's that line. Pretty straightforward, straight down the dog leg.
Yep, with the variation down to that shoulder on the midway down, where we've seen one of the snowboard girls do as well. Solid run. I must say, she didn't go all in. She can do more, but it was her, like all the girls, the first time at the dog leg, and she is pumped. She had a great season. She loved riding in between. She is such a happy girl. Positive energy all the time.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Always a smile on her face. And very happy as well. 5th place here in Verbier last year, and she wanted to do better than that this year, and she's put in a very solid run down the dogleg couloir. And the only place the judges thinking that she could have had a little bit more creativity in her line choice. Otherwise, the rest of the category is pretty solid. And just lots of smooth skiing from the 24-year-old out of Italy.
Also,
and the moment of truth. 70 points to start for Ariana Tricomi. So a rather similar score to the first women's snowboarder in Shannon Yates, and the judges leaving themselves some room to move. There are 5 more women to come, and here she is, our favorite to take the title in the golden bib, Lorraine Huber out of Austria.
so it's crunch time again for the cut and now for the title. This is what it comes down to, the show between Ariana and Lorraine. Young gun against experienced rider, as we had it in the previous category with the women's snowboarding. And I must say, I've never seen Lorraine ski stronger than this season. As it is a mental game in this business, on this level, she did a lot of work on that, and it paid off. She is such a solid skier now in competition. She always was in free skiing, but now she transformed that skill to handle that pressure into the competition, and you can see it here. Very solid skiing, no hesitation,
And of
arcing
course,
her turns.
speed is not a factor, but she's going fast.
She is very fluid, committed. That is going to be, I don't want to jinx her.
No, let's let her get to the finish line first. And while we wait for her to get there, once again, 2 wins on tour so far this year for Lorraine Huber. First place at the Chamonix event rerun in Andorra, and first place in Fieberbrunn, Austria as well, with a second in Haines, Alaska. And a very straightforward line, but very fast, very fluid. Got some good drops in there. And I'm with you, Martin. I think that she definitely will be finishing in front of Ariana
Here
at this
we
point.
go.
Once again,
she doesn't know yet.
No.
I can tell you.
But she's happy. Look at you.
She is. And she had the right approach from the beginning of the season, and also for this contest. She wants to be happy with her line, and she can be, because she rode strong, solid. It was not the most technical section she went into. She played it safe on that part, but definitely strong riding, no hesitation. And I would not be surprised if she is overtaking Ariana here. Second person down the mountain, and it would mean the World Championship title.
If Lorraine is, let's put it this way, for Lorraine is 6, which I don't think can happen.
No, it doesn't, because Ariana would be...
Which is still behind her. That's exactly it.
If she's in front, she is the world champion.
And here's the moment of truth, and there it is, 74.66
And she
points.
realizes right now.
Lorraine Huber.
No, she doesn't.
No, I don't think she's. Yeah, it's hard to figure out if she knows really. Oh, geez, and that's exactly, yes. The two ladies having a little chat there, and she is technically our new world champion, but she can still be beaten on the day. She has not won the event yet, and that's exactly it. What is it going to take to beat that run? Because we know that we have 2 former champs in the Americans, Jackie Passo, Hazel Josie Birnbaum, and this lady has stated that her goal this year is to win this event, and Eva Volkner is a serious competitor and a very dangerous to take the win and beat that point. What can we expect from Eva Volkner, our 2-time world champion?
I think a lot. She is super motivated. She wants to have redemption from a not so ideal season for her standards. Of course, still making the cut is also already a goal for many girls, but having 2 World Championship titles, you are aiming for a 3rd, and that's what she did. But this year it didn't play out as much, so this is the run for redemption. And to do that, to win the Verbier Extreme for the first time for Mrs. Valkner, it would need to have a more technical line, or the line that we've seen, like in the open field, but going bigger. So she's heading as well into the center of that dogleg couloir. Will she take that big one?
That's the question. We just saw on screen
she thought about it. I know that she did. She's going bigger.
Big nonetheless.
Yes, that's what she's doing. She's going big.
Biggest drop we've seen
wants that
so
title.
far today. That's exactly it. Well, yeah, she stated, I'd rather win the Xtreme than a third world title in a row. She said that at the beginning of the season before any results had come in, and obviously out of the running for the World Championship. So she is on her way possibly to her first ever Xtreme title. But as I said, there are still 2 former Xtreme champions to drop in, Jackie Passo and Hazel Josie Birnbaum. So plenty of action to come as we make our way to the midpoint in the women's ski category. Martin, what a day!
It is enjoying it, especially seeing the girls rock and roll, performing at their best in great conditions. Does she have something special at the bottom? Maybe a little trick of those rock knolls there, or those avalanche degrees? No, but that was a solid run. A little bit of hesitation up there, but I must say the biggest drop we've seen so far, by far.
But we saw in the women's snowboarding, it's not necessarily the biggest drop that means that you win. Shannon Yates had the biggest drop out of the women, but not as many, and she finished up 4th. So don't know what's going through the judges, exactly what's going through the judges' minds today as we take a look back at a really fantastic adrenaline-filled run from Eva Volkner.
That's the top section where she is, here she goes all in, clearing all those rocks. She needed that speed to clear that bottom rock section there, otherwise she would have been ejected from her skis. Well done, Eva Volkner. She is happy with that for sure.
There we
and
go.
Taking top spot currently.
80 points for Eva Volkner, and there you go. An excellent run from our 2-time and reigning women's world champion in the ski category. So we are halfway through the women's ski competition. Ready to drop in now is Jackie Passo. She is our defending event champion, and at the beginning of the season, she really had her sights focused on the world championship. Out of the running, though, so she's looking to double down here on the Bec des Roses in 2017.
Great friend with Eva Volkner. They traveled the season on a film project together, always challenging each other. If one of the other goes bigger than the other, then they push.
Yeah, they have their little own internal competition between the 2 of them. And so far, though, it looks to be Eva Volkner who is winning. Although, let's see what Jackie. Oh, come on, Jackie.
No, she's going smaller. Smaller than Eva Volkner. That also means that she's not currently on the top spot, or she's not heading to the top spot. She needs to step up the game, which she does big time.
Oh! Oh! Well, that was perhaps the largest jump we've ever seen in the women's snowboard competition, the women's ski competition, and a massive fall as well. She is moving, but she is definitely shaken up. And of course, when there is a fall, the riders are supposed to make a sign that they're okay, and she is not waving her hand, so she is injured.
Ooh, that was so big.
And she's holding her knee, we can see there on screen, so she is waiting for the guides to come down. Of course, there are actually 14 guides on the face, as well as 2 doctors and the medical helicopter. So we will obviously be seeing the guides come into screen shortly. She is conscious. We can see her moving.
Can we have the program?
She is
very loud, the program.
Holding her knee. She's lost a ski in what we call a fall that's we call a tomahawk, where she goes really head over heels. And as we can see, the guides are making their way down to Jackie Passo. Once again, when there is a fall, the riders are supposed to make a sign and wave their hands over their head if they are okay. If they are not okay, then they do not move. And after 2 or 3 seconds, if we see that there is no sign that they are all right, then the guides make their way down the mountain. Of course, Jackie falling all the way at the bottom of the face. There are guides at the top, through the middle, but none at the very, very bottom. So it does take a minute or two. And as you can see, the guides obviously very talented skiers and mountaineers in their own right, making their way rapidly down the face to assess the condition with Jackie Passo, but we have seen her moving. She is holding her knee, so it is apparently an injury to her knee, and we will obviously bring you more information as we get it. An unfortunate finish to the 2017 season for Jackie Passo, with an absolutely massive jump though. And Martin, I don't know, have you ever seen any of our women's skiers take a jump that big? I definitely don't think that I have. Maybe Pia Nick Gunnarsson.
Yeah, Pia Nick did a big drop as well. But the thing is, she wanted to probably step it up from her own record, because the biggest jump that was performed in a big mountain competition was done 2010 in Squaw Valley by this lady.
By Jackie Passo, of course. makes perfect sense. That's why she is a vet. And that's why she's so talented. And speaking of the safety on the mountain here and the technical prowess of the guides, we have a little piece about mountain safety that we're going to take a look at right now.
My name is Claude Gaillon. I'm a mountain guide here in Verbier since more than 20 years, and I'm in charge of the security of Xtreme Verbier since 18 years. My job is to look after the snow all the season. After every snowfall, I study the snow. The week before the event, I prepare the mountain, I make the track, I put some ropes to help the people who have to go up. During the contest day, I will manage 20 rescue people. I have 5 mountain guides, 2 ski patrol, 8 ski dudes, and 2 doctors and medical equipment with them. If something happens on the Bec des Roses, a fall or losing skis, I send people to help the athletes. During the freeride contest, if something happens, if an accident happens, it's very important to have a safety concept. The rule is to go to the people in less than 1 minute. So I can send ski patrol, I can send a doctor, an helicopter, and I will do that with my radio, and I coordinate everything. I feel very lucky to work on this mountain and on this job. That's my favorite office, and I hope I can keep going 20 more years.
And we are very lucky to have Claude Alain Gaillon as our head guide on the Swatch Freeride World Tour. As you can see, Jackie Passo is back on her feet. They've recovered her lost ski, and apparently she's going to ski down off the mountain. So she is one very tough lady, Jacqueline Passo.
Which is no surprise. We have seen that before in previous years, but that was one of the biggest falls I've seen in the ladies' competitions in a long time.
That was definitely very scary. Originally, Jackie Passo originally out of Sunday River, Maine, now residing in Åre, Sweden. And why the move to Sweden? Because she recently married one of our men's skiers, Rainy Barkred.
And here, just a quick little anecdote. This cliff that she just jumped is a very unusual one, and we haven't seen it many times in the past, but guess who opened it a few years ago?
Rainy Barkred.
Of course.
There we go. So the two of them obviously having a little chat. We are just about ready to get the women's ski competition back underway.
Just one last one. She went bigger on that one than he did.
I love it. There's also an internal competition going on every contest between Rainy and Jackie to see which one finishes higher in the rankings. Back to the top now. We are ready to drop in with Hazel Josie Birnbaum. Just 15 seconds from our restart here.
And it is the last rider in the ski women category, isn't it? I think.
No, we have one more. We have Kylie Svell to come. There's your current
Kylie Svell,
standings on screen. Valkner, Huber, Tricomi, And Volkner hoping that she will stay in the top spot. But Hazel Josie Birnbaum won this event in 2015, so she is a threat. When she's on, she is a serious contender to win any competition in the world. However, not the greatest season this year, sitting at 6th place in the rankings today. Setting up a big jump, it looks to start. Either way, in a very technical part of the face, Martin.
Yes, that's the steepest part of the face. The good thing is it's all snow, as it looks like, where she fell, the fall line.
Yeah, a little bit over a rocky part, but that's why we also, all of the riders, it's mandatory that they wear helmets, that they have back protectors, and of course the full panoply of Freeride equipment. And once again, she has given the hands up, so she's okay. Obviously a bit rattled. She will have to recover her skis, and I'm sure we will see a guide coming down into the face as well. There we go. Once again, she's given the wave, so she is okay. She will be disappointed, but another lady who lives by the motto, go big or go home. And the guides here in the face to help Hazel recover her skis. And once she does that, she will be able to ride down, and then there will be one woman left to come. That will be Kylie Savelle, our Canadian rookie, who has a very similar style to Hazel Josie Birnbaum. Ride fast, ride hard, and find some big jumps. So Hazel Josie Birnbaum out of Kirkwood and South Lake Tahoe, California. And very disappointed, once again winning this event in 2015. Only one podium on tour this year, 3rd place in Fieberbrunn. And comes from a small town called Myers, California, otherwise known as Tahoe Paradise, or California Historical Landmark 708. But when she's riding, she does her riding in the resort of Kirkwood in South Lake Tahoe, California. The 30-year-old, a bit disappointed with her performance today, but we are all very happy that after that very big fall down the face of the Bec des Roses, that she is uninjured, and as soon as she finds her second ski, we'll be able to ride the rest of the way down the Dogleg Couloir. Actually, I say the rest of the way down. Where exactly is she, McFly? She's still got about half the face to go. So yeah. She's going to enjoy the powder once we
That's what happened.
Find her ski.
She clipped on that landing, sloughed out. She didn't see that rock coming, and it was at the very top of her run, and you can see the steepness by the fall. Big impacts. It's putting up goosebumps when I see that.
Yes,
you see her protecting her head with her arms, touching some rocks there, but luckily that was it. No more rocks on the way down. Here, a close one. Both skis came off. That's what binding's supposed to do. But of course, the riders have them on the maximum din to not have a ski off while riding. But
that's exactly it. And that was a great illustration of what we call a ragdoll or a tomahawk. It's when there's a big fall, and it's literally just head over heels down the mountain. And once again, very scary.
And very scary moment for her. Imagine,
yes,
in that situation, knowing you have cliffs above you. This is a fall from the very top section of the mountain. I'm very happy to see her clearing that rock here, that obvious one.
Yeah, that was the big one that we were very worried that she was going to hit. And oof, yeah, really very, very lucky. We've seen some incredible falls actually down this face over the years, and thankfully not too many serious injuries. I think
right.
the worst was Jerome Ruby. He had a very scary fall through the rocks down the center couloir quite a few years ago before there was even a ski competition. Just a few more minutes. The competition is on hold once again until we get this second ski down to Hazel Birnbaum, until she's able to ride the rest of the way down the face. So a very scary moment, but she's okay. And once again, just to touch on the fact that the riders do wear helmets and they have back protection, as well as the avalanche airbags, and probes and shovels as well, because in case there ever was an avalanche on one of these faces, all the riders are equipped with their avalanche transceivers and everything that they need to go and help with the search and rescue. Having said that, because we do have the guides and our head guide, Claude-Alain Gaillon, it is very, very rare that we have avalanches during the competition. They really do a very fantastic job of making sure that the faces don't slide. But we have seen in the past, in spite of all the work that the team of guides do for every contest, we have seen slides like we did in Kappel, Austria, when we had the move from Fieberbrunn a few years ago with Julian Lopez.
And that it just shows that in the mountains there is no 100% security. You cannot secure anything 100% out there. So please be aware, be prepared for an emergency. If you're riding off-piste, be prepared with the right equipment and knowing how to use it. There are several courses, possibilities like ISTA. Google it. You will find out. Beautiful program to bring you up to date.
Yes, indeed. Okay, Hazel Josie Birnbaum is just fine and down to the bottom of the mountain, and we are back to the start gate here on the Bec des Roses at the Xtreme Verbier, and Kylie Savelle, our Canadian rookie, will be the last lady down the dogleg couloir, as we call this part of the face of the Bec today, out of Red Mountain, British Columbia, Canada, and also riding in Osler Bluff, Ontario, originally from Ontario, born in the town of Thornbury, currently residing though in British Columbia. She's been skiing since she was 2 years old, competing in moguls since she was 10. This is Kylie Savelle, current world number 5, in her first time ever down the Bec.
Yes, she has a great start season of like a rookie dream year, actually.
2 podiums to start, 3rd in Val Nord, 2nd in Chamonix.
Very solid skiing from the beginning. She showed that she's not here just for a one-hit wonder. She wants to ski solid, show some great performance. She's not, she's not going all in, which I like. You can see her really calculating her risk. As we see her, no hesitation, smart riding. Don't get hung up by this avalanche, not avalanche, the slough debris here in the bottom section.
And we can see a bit bouncy with now with more tracks in the face. Doesn't seem to be slowing her down too much. That's a nice double there. Great combination of jumps from Kylie Savelle.
You're right, she's stepping it up at the bottom. Definitely a contender for that title of the Verbier Xtreme.
That would be a fitting end to a rookie season if Kylie Savelle were able to take the title in her first ever competition here in Verbier. I don't know, though. How do you compare that line to Eva Valkner's?
I must say, Eva had a good run, this one big feature. But riding-wise, I had Kylie Savelle on top. But definitely not as big of a feature as we've seen Eva Valkner before.
Well, very interesting, because as there's that line, very straightforward, straight down the dog leg with some solid features there in there, and that beautiful double cliff from one rock to the next down the bottom. We're going to take a look at it again. Now, we saw in the women's snowboarding that one big cliff was not enough. The judges preferred lots of smaller jumps and maybe a more creative line, but Kylie Savelle, she's put together a smoker here in Switzerland today, and it is going to be close. The Canadian rookie challenging for the top spot in her first time ever here at the Xtreme Verbier. the grand finale of the Swatch Freeride World Tour 2017.
And especially the riding is a stronghold. She's coming from a mogul's background where you are confronted with impacts all the time, and you can see her not getting out of her flow when she is riding into very steep and rocky and ruppy sections.
And here we go, the moment of truth. Oh, 78 points and second position behind Eva Volkner, but still nonetheless a fantastic finish to the season. You can see she is on fire, and Eva Volkner, a dream come true for the two-time world champion out of Austria. Didn't take the world title this year, but she has won the Xtreme Verbier the first time ever. She stated at the beginning of the season that was her goal, and she has done it. So a fantastic competition here from the women's skiers and the women's snowboarders. Two big bails in women's skiing. Very scary stuff, but some fantastic riding as well. So we're now going to close here. Okay.
And probably the most important story of today, of course, after having the results of today's competition with Eva Volkner taking the win.
That's
first
right.
time in a long career on the tour,
Eva
taking the
Volkner
win.
first, Kylie Savell second, Lorraine Huber is world champion in third. So a really historic day in women's skiing, a fantastic day for Austria with Eva Volkner taking the win here, and Lorraine Huber coming in third position and taking her maiden world title with once again the Canadian rookie Kylie Savell finishing up in second position. And now we should be having a look at our overall rankings in the ski women category. So it is official. Lorraine Huber in the top spot, and Eva Volkner with the win today, moving into second in front of Arianna Tricomi out of Italy in third. Kylie Savell and Jackie Passo rounding out the top five. And once again, the top six, Hazel Josie Beardbaum as well qualified for next year. So a fantastic day for the women skiers from Austria.
Huge congrats to a good friend of mine, Lorraine Huber.
Yes, indeed. Well done. And we're now going to close out here and move over to Red Bull TV for the rest of the competition. We'll have snowboard men and ski men coming up. We're also going to hear from our new female world champions. We'll be back at 9:45 Central European time. Once again, that is, if you are watching us internationally, 4:45 p.m. Okay, we're going to wrap things up here. Once again, refresh your browsers if you continue watching on Freeride World Tour. Otherwise, head over to Red Bull TV, and we'll be right back with you for the men's competition starting at 9:55 a.m. Central European time.
Professionnels de la montagne doivent beaucoup aux hélicoptères, et même nous qui profitons des installations partout. Je pense que sans les hélicoptères, ça aurait été